Well, here we are again with my fourth. I nearly said unboxing because I tend to say unboxing, even though these are all already unboxed. But I suppose my fourth haul update of Blu-rays that I got recently. Might be the last one for a while because I haven't got anything major lined up that I want to buy as of yet. I still have my eye on the True Romance special edition, but I don't know. There's a version they brought out with Zavi that has a steelbook with it, and I don't like the steelbook, but I like the normal Blu-ray, and I prefer that box. And I wish I could just merge the two special editions and just have a proper edition that I want, but alas, it doesn't work that way. But here's a collection of stuff that I got recently. Some of it from Germany, and the rest of it just from standard Amazon, and actually one from Eureka as well. First up is this 50s American horror film, Dementia. I haven't seen it. I've just heard very good things about it. And what's interesting about this is there's two versions of the film on it. There's Dementia itself, and then there was a version called Daughter of Horror, which was, I think it was picked up by a different producer, and they eventually brought out a new edit of the film. So it has I think the film itself is silent other than music, so there's no dialogue or anything, it's all just atmosphere based, but this has narration and stuff in it, and I think it's edited around a little bit. I think it's Blu-ray and DVD, so I'll check here. Yeah, there's a DVD with it, which, I think that's going to become obsolete eventually, where they're going to stop just including DVDs and stuff. It was nice at first, but I don't know many DVD collectors still. Nice book as well. All sorts of info and interviews and such. I always say this, I don't like the blank backgrounds with BFI stuff. Because it just, I don't know, it just feels lazy somehow. And even like on the back here, they never put it on the back. Which some of the old Arrow books used to do that as well. They never had it on the back, which always annoyed me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this, particularly because it's short, but also because it's essentially two films. And I'm eager to see what it's like to see an American silent horror film from the 50s with some familiar faces in it, so that should be interesting. And it looks like it'll be heavily based on atmosphere as well. Following that is one that I got from Eureka, and I ordered this back in May, or it could have been the end of April. Whenever I was getting the Vinegar Syndrome stuff, I ordered this about a week beforehand. Sold entirely on the fact that it's Sammo Hung and Yun Biao, and it is the Millionaires Express, which, and also Cynthia Rothrock's in it, is a Hong Kong Western action comedy. So if you look at the likes of Shanghai Noon, like Shanghai Noon was an American film that brought Eastern atmosphere over, and this is an Eastern film that brought Western atmospheres over. I only watched it last night actually as well. And it's a lovely addition to it. I love that they're doing this now, these slightly thicker slip covers, so they can fit a poster in. So these are like, if you put the Blu-ray in on its own, it probably would slide through to the bottom. So it's actually a lot better to have these thicker ones. Although I don't mind when the poster's inside the box either, but it doesn't quite fit there. Really nice edition as well, because it's 2-disc and it has, I think there's 4 cuts of the movie on here. So there's Millionaires Express, the original Hong Kong version, and then there's an extended version as well. But on the second disc, which is the limited edition one, it comes with Shanghai Express, which was the English language dub of it. So I think they edited some stuff around. They obviously have voices dubbed over, but they also have a hybrid version, which includes everything that was in the English language cut, the extended cut, and the theatrical cut merged together into one full version of it, and it's all in Cantonese as well. There's no kind of parts in English, parts outside English. So especially if you're a collector of these films, like, it's an absolutely unreal box set. And there's 2 discs there. I don't even know why they call it bonus disc. It really should just be disc 2. I suppose it is going to be a limited edition version of it. I like the boarding pass thing as well. Sammo on the back, and again interviews and interesting stuff in it. And I looked at some of the extras as well. There's good archival interviews, as well as a new interview with Cynthia Rothrock. And on the back here, I presume that was an original poster for the Hong Kong one. They tend to have sort of mad shit like that. Film itself though, I didn't love it. I thought it was quite good, but I really can't get to grips with Hong Kong comedy. That bothers me a lot. I like the stuff Jackie Chan does, like Police Story is fucking hilarious, but there's just certain elements of Hong Kong comedy bother me a lot, and this was rife with it. But the action scenes in it, and the fight scenes, and the choreography and everything is just mind-blowingly good. So for the action side of it, it's absolutely class, but the comedy side of it annoyed me. And there are still some funny bits in it, but in general, a lot of it pisses me off. But I mean, if you're collecting the Hong Kong, like the classic 80s and probably 90s Hong Kong martial arts movies, this is an essential purchase for the limited edition anyway. And if you want to see the film in its fullest form, this is the way to do it as well. And I'm glad I do have it. I mean, I do want to build a collection of these things, but I mean, a lot of them are going to miss the mark in terms of that. I mean, I even watched Yes Madam afterwards, which was, funnily enough, called Police Assassins and Police Assassins 2. So I don't know what way they titled that fucking film. But that was Cynthia Rothrock. This was her second feature, and the Yes Madam was her first one. And the same thing as well. The action scenes are just blindingly good, but the comedy just doesn't work for me at all. But like I said, if there's a good ratio from action to comedy and leaning more in favour of action, it's going to win me over. Unfortunately, with Millionaires Express, it leaned more towards comedy, but still the action scenes are class. Keeping up with the Asian cinema side of things, I picked up this one, which I hadn't seen yet. I've been meaning to see for years. I'm pretty sure I had the DVD from the library years ago. But it's a Park Chan-wook film, one he made just before Old Boy, called Joint Security Area, or JSA. Again, been meaning to see this for years, so I'm glad I picked it up. I got it fairly cheap as well, and it's the limited edition as well. So it has the slipcover, which I like, and it has the original poster there. And I mean, you've seen these two and everything. I mean, I always forget his name. That's Byung Hung Lee or Brian. I don't know. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I'll read the back here so I know for sure. Byung, I knew I was right there. And I'm gonna forget his name as well. I've already forgotten his name, and it's annoying me. Oh yeah, Kang Ho Song, or Song Kang Ho. So you probably recognise him from Parasite. As usual with Art, I've already flipped the cover here. Normally it has the same cover as the slip cover on that side. Standard enough disc. I'm excited to read the book though, because there's a whole section of it written by the good old bearded Scotsman Kieran Fisher, and I'm always interested to see what he has to read or to write. So I'll be looking forward to looking into that, and I'll let him know whether or not I think it's terrible, because it's the only thing French should do. The last two here are ones I picked up from Germany. I say from Germany, from German Amazon. One of them I've been meaning to pick up for years, but every time I found it, it was either what are they called? Shout Factory or Scream Factory released a fucking limited edition of this, and I thought both the covers they brought out were dog shit. Even though the editions of the movies were deadly, I just hated the covers. The proper cover was released over here on a steelbook, and then unfortunately that went well out of print and it's gone for stupid money now. However, I managed to find this for a very good price on German Amazon, in English, uncut, with all the same extras as the Scream Factory version, and that is Return of the Living Dead, which is probably one of the best zombie films ever made. Now, this is very thin, I should say, as well. It's like a sheet of paper, rather than the kind of more cardy feel that they have. This is basically like a sheet of paper. But this has the proper steelbook, which I fucking love, and I don't know how it's actually picking up on the camera there. It's a bit glossier than I realised. Suppose you can kind of see it with the shine. And there's trash on the back, getting them out. Although I'm surprised they actually censored that. Normally your tits are out. But it's probably one of the most punk zombie movies out there. But it's a comedy, but it probably has the scariest zombies in a movie, because they're just indestructible and terrifying in it. As fun as it is. So there's both discs, and you can see an image on the back there of the lads hanging around. Now, as far as I know, there was some issue with the soundtrack in the American one for Scream Factory. So I think while the film looks the best, I think some of the music has changed. I think this has the original music, so it's the proper edition of the movie, but also one of the extras on the American one was a work print that they were dealing with, and this includes the work print as well. So I feel like I got the best of both worlds here, where I get the proper edition of the film as well as all the good extras. So I'm looking forward to looking into that. But this one is just one of the best zombie films out there. It's funny, has great music in it. The characters are all deadly too, so you actually want to see them survive. And as I said, the zombies in it are pretty terrifying, because even though they're silly, like there's silly moments in it, because there's a comedy film at the end of the day, the zombies are just, they're so indestructible that you're thinking, fuck, I'll never get away from them. Plus, I'm pretty sure that's where the phrase brains was coined for zombie movies, because that's the first one I've ever seen where the zombies say brains. So there's your zombie origin. And lastly is the most special one that I got here, that as soon as I watched this film, I had to buy this edition of it. I watched this a few weeks ago, and it's 3.5 hours long, and it blew my mind so much I thought I need the 5.5 hour version, because I could watch it right now. It's that good. And that is Das Boot, the German masterpiece by Wolfgang Petersen. This is a serious limited edition as well. I need choked on my own fucking thoughts there. It's an 8-disc edition. Now, all this shit's in German, but if you actually have a translator on your phone, you can take a picture of it and it'll just translate the words for you. But it has 5 Blu-rays and 3 CDs, and as well as a massive booklet. I'm going to try to slide this off without wrecking it. Yeah, there's the water. I'm going to try to slide this out now. It's quite a thin box. That's it's quite light card. It'd be kind of similar to the joint security area type thickness. Although I suppose if this was thinner, it would probably feel really thick, but maybe it's because it's wider. It feels a bit spongy or something. I need the room to open this now. So, good few images on it. There's himself. That's fucking I always forget his name, but he was in Angst, and I was surprised when I saw him in this. I can't even slide this open all the way. So there's all the discs anyway. So you had the director's cut, theatrical cut, and 2 discs for the full 5.5 hour, as they call it, the TV series, because it was released in 1981, which you would never fucking guess by how good it looks. But they released, I think it was in 87, they brought out the 5.5 hour version, which essentially the full version. I mean, they did it with the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo as well, the original ones. They were released in the cinema, they were each about 2 hours or something, but the Blu-rays were 3 hours, because they were shown on TV as a 2-part miniseries, 90-minute episodes each. This is similar, so these 2 discs would be the whole 5.5 hour version. I think that's a 2.5 hour or 2 hours 40-minute theatrical cut, 3.5 hour director's cut. 2 discs, or sorry, a disc here full of bonus features, the original soundtrack and the original scores. So there's just fucking, it's everything to do with Das Boot is in this collection. And obviously a little booklet here as well, if I can get it. So yeah, and that's the cover that's actually on the Blu-ray that I have. It's this exact disc actually, because I remember I was convinced that the director's cut was the full version before the TV version, and I'd always looked around, and I remember the first Blu-ray came out, I saw it wasn't the director's cut, so I thought, Jesus, this must be hard to find, and I found this on German Amazon. I think it was like £6, so I bought it, and as soon as it finished I thought, I need more. And luckily I was given more. So, and again, this would be fucking full of good stuff. And like I said, if you have a translate or a translation app, just take a picture of the words and it'll all fucking come up for you. So that's usually what I do. Anytime I buy, like, I know people are a bit reluctant to buy, say, a German edition or a Korean edition or something, because they're not going to get the benefit of reading all the kind of shit that comes with it. But I mean, if you have a translator, you will, and you still get to have all the nice artwork that comes with it. So it's a worthy purchase. And this I think was 30 something quid, which is a fucking bargain considering all the shit you get with it. But this has immediately become one of the best, like genuinely one of the best things I've ever seen. So I mean, and if you like tension, this is fucking rife with it. So that would be my highest recommendation. All of them, I suppose, but Das Boot would be up there with the highest recommendations. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna hopefully, I mean, I know I have some stuff coming from Indicator, which I fucking pre-ordered months ago, and annoyingly they had Ishtar for pre-order, but that has been pulled for some bullshit legal reasons. So I unfortunately won't have that film now. So I think there's an American director's cut of it, but this one would have had all the cuts of it, and I think Elaine May doesn't want anyone watching her theatrical cut because she was basically kicked out of the editing room. But that's how it is anyway. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll have more to come soon. I'm gonna make some different videos based on I keep saying goodbye and starting more conversations here, but I'll have more videos based on other parts of the collection. I'm going to do individual ones. So I might do a whole thing about the German releases I have. I'm going to do all my Arrow stuff, all my Indicator. I have some BFI, but I mean I have a lot of different independent labels. Kind of like what I did with the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. Because even though I ordered I think 55 movies, I included the bunch that I had before. So I basically just did a full Vinegar Syndrome collection video. And that's essentially what I'll do now with the likes of Arrow and so on. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and thanks for watching.